caring for their communities. So here they are on the stage. Thank you, Pauline and Mel. Hello, Melbourne. My God, this is amazing. Welcome everybody. My name is Pauline. I've been a registered nurse for 39 years. If the Labor government gets its way, I will be forced into an early retirement. I thought I had at least another good 10 years in me. Like many of my colleagues, I have years of experience and expertise, operating room as a midwife and clinical specialist. Thousands of my colleagues, like myself, have been placed on indefinite leave or have been stood down.
Shame on them! Shame!
That is hundreds of thousands of years of expert clinical experience and refined skills sitting at home while our colleagues at the coalface grow weary and sick of the futility of it all. They have uni students in our ambulances and they are bringing in untrained staff from overseas. It's bloody wrong. It's not fair. My fear about the bill is that it does not sufficiently protect the rights of all Victorians.
It doesn't protect anyone!
Who are the people who are generally disadvantaged in situations of hardship and repression? It's always those of lower socio-economic background. We just have to look at the way they treated the people in the Housing Commission towers, putting them into illegal detention. Boo! This form of discrimination is abhorrent in a democratic society. And with this bill, we will also see people being detained for their political belief, industrial activity, or for their personal association with others. This should be irrelevant. This is not democracy.
Segregation!
Whenever a government pushes an agenda and resorts to extortion and manipulation to get their way, you can almost always be sure your benefit is not what they have at heart.
Kill the bill!
At this point, I would like to say sorry about the rain. But also, I would like to thank the members of the Victorian Bar for their strong stance. Thank you to force a delay in the introduction of the bill to the Upper House and for the recommended amendments that should be made for our protection.
Kill the bill! Kill the bill!
As nurses, we are fearful for all of our communities. There has been an unprecedented demand on mental health services. There has been an acceleration in the incidence of suicide across all age groups, including children. Many children are self-harming and developing eating disorders, and they simply are too afraid to go out and play.
That's right!
These are the true victims of lockdowns, and everyone is suffering. Thousands of extra lives have been lost because people who are not able to access healthcare because of the focus of the infection.
Save the kids!
The infection. I'm going to read a few stats from the Australian Bureau of Statistics.
Let's march!
This year in Australia, from the 1st of January to the 31st of July, just over 85,000 people in Australia have passed away. That's all-cause mortality.
Boo!
This is 4,800 more than usual and 3,024 more than last year. This means that the lockdowns have caused an extra 3,600 deaths above the average.
And the vaccine!
Caused by lockdowns. Lockdowns kill! Lockdowns kill! Lockdowns kill! Lockdowns kill! Lockdowns kill!
Lockdowns kill!
If this bill is passed, our community will lose more of our loved ones. We cannot allow this bill to pass. It will lock us down, he will lock us down at his whim, and inflict these deadly outcomes on us all again and again and again. No more! Lockdowns kill! Lockdowns kill! Lockdowns kill! Lockdowns kill! Kill the bill! 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 Kill the bill!
Woohoo! Hello, my beautiful humans! Welcome to the biggest talk I'll ever do in my life. Please be patient with me as I'm ready to basically poo my pants. My name is Mel. I'm a hospital ward and theatre nurse. I'm not here today to speak to you about what they're injecting into our people. We have been silenced by APRA. They sent an email in
Good on you!
when was it?
March.
It was in March this year, saying if any of us speak out, we'll lose our licences, we'll lose our registrations, and that is it.
We heard
But as a nurse, I'd recommend having a look at Queensland Senator Gerard Rennick's Facebook page, as he is posting every single vaccine injury that's happening. Look at that. Look at the interviews that Tammy Jane is doing. Have a look at that. Share with each other.
Open your eyes!
I'm here to speak about the bill and the impact of lockdowns in our healthcare system. What I have experienced during lockdowns in hospital are patients not only suffering physically, but more mentally. Not being able to see their loved ones when they need them the most.
That's right!
With some patients being in hospital for months, feeling like prisoners with less rights. This is not right! With the hospital allowing one visitor only if you're a child, extremely demented, or you're dying. Yes, boo! Cancelling medical appointments because people are too frightened to go anywhere near a hospital. Delaying diagnosis, early intervention or treatment, adding to a rising death toll of our state. Thank you, mainstream media. Thanks for that. The pressure on our surgeons having to further reorganise their operating lists, placing patients into priority boxes, deciding which patients are more important and more urgent than others, more suffering, more than others. And when the restrictions are eased, theatre staff are working 7 days a week and sometimes doing 12-hour shifts, operating until 3 o'clock in the morning. This is dangerous for every single person involved. My friend, who's a psychiatric nurse, has seen an influx of mental health patients, as we all can imagine, from all walks of life and all ages. Feeling the impact of these lockdowns with the promise of more beds from our state government. Where are those beds? Because we never saw them! Denying long-term patients their recovery plans, such as group therapy work, then patients lashing out at nurses who are forced to enforce these lockdown measures. This is not healthcare.
It's unfair!
We cannot care for our community like this.
Leave me in the room, please. Just leave me in
Yes.
the room.
And if this bill passes, Dan Andrews or any future Premier can declare a pandemic whenever they want, without question, putting us all in lockdown for any amount of time. We say no! 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 Woo! There is so much hate in our society, with classes of people already be discriminating against each other, stating certain classes of people should not be able to receive medical treatment and should pay for a hospital bed themselves. Well, I've got something to say about that. We all pay our taxes. We all pay Medicare levy. Absolutely no one should ever be refused medical care. This is medical apartheid. And we do not, and we will not support this. We are not communist yet. I'm going to end with a little quote. Okay. They divide with fear. We unite with courage. They divide with politics. We unite with facts. They divide for control. We unite for freedom. Divide for power. We unite for humanity. Okay. That's all I've got to say. Love each other. Stop all this hate. Stop all the divide. And thank you for listening. Thank you. Thank you. We say no. We say no. We say no. We say no! 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 Thank you.
I've just got one thing to say. One thing to say to the Victorian government. And ScoMo, who says we are not under mandate to get vaccinated to work. That's not what we're experiencing. See, it's not human right to have to get a jab to work. It is not okay. We worked with COVID patients for 18 months unjabbed. And all of a sudden, we need a jab to keep your jab safe. And it is the most insane concept that the healthcare system has ever come up with. So I just want you to stand with us healthcare workers, doctors, nurses, vets, massagers, all of them, dentists, surgeons, because we need them all. We are educated. We know what we're talking about. We don't just say we don't want a Panadol and not go to work. We don't want this because we have researched how bad and toxic it is. But more than that, we value our human rights. And the Vic Gov and Dan Andrews is trying to steal them from us. So what are we going to do about it?